let's add upon what we know about adding numbers together using the associative property. Here we have a first grade standard, OA3, where we apply the properties of operation. Here we're applying the associative property. And this feeds really nicely into another first grade standard that is very important, OA6, which is about adding and subtracting within 20, and especially fluently add within 10. So here we're going to go ahead and practice how we can do just a very quick daily routine under the .cam to practice this, and more importantly, practice helping students be flexible and fluent with their numbers. So let's go ahead and roll. Students might automatically, that was a 4. Students might automatically say, that's 10, because I know my doubles. 5 and 5 is 10. Also, 5 and 5 is 10 right there. Then we would write it, how they added together, 5 plus 5, 10. We want them to purposely see it. We are working with applying the properties. Here we're applying, this is what we did first. We added 5 plus 5 plus 4. We know 5 plus 5 is 10, so now this becomes 10 plus 4. That becomes 110, 4. So this very quick activity allows us to do something that looks abstract like this, put to words what we're doing, put in numbers. All right, let's go ahead and do another one. Again, very quick warm up. We might ask students, how are you adding? Talk with a partner. Put the dice up here. Talk with a partner. How are you adding? Some students might say, well, I added 5 plus 3 together because those were the 2 dice I saw first. And then I added 2 more. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 2. Again, we're working on our math facts. This is a partners of 10. This is very, very important, which is feeding into that first grade standard OA6. You might also ask students, what's another way? Is there another way to add these? Some students might say, well, I saw 5 plus 3 plus 2. I added that together. And then I know that's a doubles. Here again, we're working with benchmark strategies. 5 and 5 I know is 10. And here they can confirm and see. Perhaps it's best to do it side by side. So let's go ahead and do an example of what that might look like in the classroom. This time I might ask students to go ahead and take out their whiteboard. And on their whiteboard, they are going to create their own sentence using this. Give them time to do it or work with a partner. Some students might say 5 plus 5. I did that first, so I'm putting in parentheses. Plus 1. 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 plus 1. Then I might ask someone else, how else did you do it? They might say, I added the 5 and 1 together first. I'm going to bracket that because that was my thinking first. Plus 5. Here we have neighbor numbers. 5 and 1, that becomes a 6. 6 plus 5, this becomes doubles plus 1. 5 and 5 is 10, and 6 and 5 is 1 more, so that must be 11. The point of this is to just have very quick review under the .cam, getting all students engaged. If everyone has their whiteboard out, they could either be working with a partner, they could write it on here, and as the teacher is doing this on the .cam, they're able to get a bird's eye view of what everyone's board looks like. We're all doing this. Maybe students write 5, 3, 4. And then they do their work underneath. So maybe they want to say 5 plus 3 plus 4. 8 plus 4. This is just one example of what you might see. Sometimes if the dice are up on top, students need to write this on their whiteboard so they can have it right in front of them. And that's perfectly okay. The point is we want students to be engaged in this process and understand that when we add 3-digit numbers, we can move them around. All right? once you have a little bit of practice with that, you can have this become independent practice where you can have students say, take out a piece of paper. And the reason I say paper is so that way you have a record of it, so you can see students thinking. So blank piece of paper, line paper, doesn't matter. Students write their name on it and whatnot. This time, every student has a deck of cards. So they're going to turn over 3 cards. And now what they can do independently is they can move the cards around just like with the dice. And they can write on their paper 4 plus 3 plus 2. You can have them take through this process. And they can do it like that if you'd like. Okay? They don't have to do all of them, all the different ways. They're just taking out 3 cards. And they're putting them together. The point is we want to see where they're adding these numbers together. So maybe they have 10 plus 1 and 5, because this is a 10 plus a 6. That equals 16. Again, bottom line, we want students to engage and work with this, and having students do this on a piece of paper allows for the teacher to walk around, and it also allows for the teacher to engage in the moment if there's any misunderstandings in a very relaxed environment for our students. All right, enjoy.